You are never attached to your husband, the real one. You are never attached to your boyfriend, the real one. You are never attached to your child, the real child. You are never attached to your mother, the real mother, or a friend, the real friend. You are never attached to them. You are always attached to the version of them in your mind. And now the relationship you have is now where we now get into that, where we are still talking about the attachment. Then the relationship, this is you, Natasha. This is him. Now, this is you as a lady, and this is him. And now people think there's something between us. Can you feel it? Can you feel the thing we share? There's something, I can feel there's something between us. There's nothing, just there. You think that there's something between you and him. There's something we share. You know, what we share in common. Now, you want to tell me that all we have shared for all those 10 years has gone to nothing? To begin with, it was nothing. It's not now that it's becoming nothing. It has been nothing. There's nothing we have been doing together. So, people have this illusion when it comes to relationships, that I have a relationship with this person. Or, as the man, I have a relationship with this person. I have the lady is thinking, you know, I have a relationship with him, we have a relationship, we share a lot in common, there's definitely something between us, and you guys can even see it, you can feel it, there's definitely something amazing between us. He is also thinking the same thing. There's something between me and her. But here's the reality. There's absolutely, totally, holistically, eventually, totally, undoubtedly, nothing between the two of you. There's nothing between you and this person. There's nothing. But there's something between you. Acha kwanza tutoe macho sasa. So, we are assuming this is now your mind. Okay? There's definitely something between you and between him. There's something between you and between him. But there's nothing between you and between him. You got it? There's something between a version of you. Because even the idea, even you, the you, you know, the you. If I was tell us about you, everything you would say about that is a version of you that you have. It's not really you. Okay? So if I was to tell us about yourself, then yourself, the self you will talk about is not you. It's a version of you. It's a perception of you that you have in your mind. Because when you tell me about you, probably you will start with your name. You go into maybe your gender. You go maybe something into where you come from. Maybe origin or country. You go into race, you go into career, you go into relationships, I'm married, I have 3 kids, I have this. You go into religion, I'm a Christian, I'm all this. And then I ask you, where did you get all this? Because all these is things you have. All this, my name. It's mine, but it's not me. My gender, it is not me, it is mine. My country, it is mine, it is not me. My race, it is my race. I'm black, I'm white, I'm yellow, I'm green, I'm pink, I'm purple. That is my race, it is not me. My career, it is my career, it's not me. My family, not me. My husband, not me. My car, not me. So all these things are the things you have. Even when you talk about personality, my personality, you have a personality, but that personality is not you. But you have it. It's yours. but it is not you. I'm an introvert. You are not. You have an introverted personality, but you are not it. I'm an extrovert. You are not. You have an extroverted personality or temperament or whatever you want to call it, but it is not you. So everything you talk about when you tell me, you even talk, I have a soul, I have a spirit, I have a body. Even all those things are things you have. Because you tell me I have a body. Okay, you have a body, but you are not the body. The body is something you have. It's something you possess. There's the body, and there is you who owns the body. A soul. I have a soul. Okay, again, you have a soul. So that means that you are not the soul. It's something you have. Also, you possess the soul. The soul is yours. You are not it. I have a spirit. The spirit is yours, and you are not it. I have mind. I have a heart. I have this. I have that. All those things are things you have. It won't be real if you are actually able to define and tell me who is the person who has all those things. If you can be able to define the person the one who owns the soul, the one to whom the soul belongs to, the spirit belongs to, the body belongs to, the career belongs to, and all other forms of identity belong to, if you can be able to tell me who that person is, then you'd get closer to telling me who you are. Because you are none of what you have. You are the person who has all those things. Well, I beg to dig a little bit deeper another day. Let's come to these two guys. All right? So, before we got here, I was telling you that there is you, and there is a perception of you that you have in your mind. Okay? There is you. Let's use Naomi. There's you, Naomi. Okay? Assuming you are married, there's a Naomi who is a wife. There's a Naomi who is a friend. There's a Naomi who is an employee. There's a Naomi who is a daughter. There's a Naomi who is a mother. And the list go on and on and on and on to all other forms of identity that you can have. So all these are roles you play in life. All these are roles you play in your life. They are masks. These are masks you wear. You wake up in the morning, the first mask you wear, wife. Your husband is going to work, warm the water, get his clothes, whatever, breakfast, ametoka ameenda. You take off that mask. The next mask, a mother. You now wear the mask of the mother. You wake your kids up, you prepare them, they go to school. You take that mask off. The next mask, if you are going to work, employer, you wear that mask. You go to work, you pray the role up to the end of the day. In the evening, you are meeting a friend. You put off the employer mask. You wear the friend mask. You wear that mask. You interact with your friends. You play that role of a friend. Unamaliza 2 hours. Your mother calls you. You put off the mask of the friend. You become a daughter. You wear the mask of the daughter. And now you play the role. So all these are masks we wear. All these are roles we play. The most dangerous thing, the most dangerous thing is becoming or thinking that either of all these roles you play is who you are. The danger will be the day any of these masks becomes you. That's when your life will be over. When the only thing you wake up and talk about is wife, 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 wife. All your life revolves around wife. Everything. You wake up in the morning, wife. You're sleeping at night, wife. The whole year ends. The next year come and go. And all you're talking about, all the mask you have is wife, 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 wife. You will know the mask has become you the day Something happens in your marriage and you can't leave. Your life is threatened, but you can't leave. Your life is in danger, but you can't leave the marriage. Because the mask, the law of being a wife, has become you. You no longer exist. You are now the Lord. You are now the mask. And you cannot imagine yourself without him. That's what people say, and they think it's very romantic. I can't imagine my life without you. I don't know what I'll do without you. I don't know what I'll be without you. Now, ukiwahi jipata hapo, if you ever find yourself in that position where you're saying that my life is nothing without you, I don't know what I can do without you, I don't know what I'll be without you, just know, ulikufa kitambo. You died a long time ago. You're just waiting to bury you. And all that has been existing now is the mask you've been wearing. The mask of the wife. The mask of the spouse. That's all that exists now. Everything else is gone. You no longer exist. The only thing that exists that moves up and down here, tunapitana nayo huku, ni mask. 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 It's the mask which is moving up and down. You died a long time ago. And now when we bury you, you'll just now be burying the mask. It's the mask which will be buried. So the moment your Lord becomes you, you've made the greatest mistake of your life. The moment the only thing you do revolves around wife, revolves around friend, revolves around mother, revolves around employment, revolves around daughter, the moment your life just revolves around that, just know, you are normal. Who you think you are is a thought. That's why I've started by saying, you think. The you would define to us is nothing but a thought. It's a thought you have about yourself. That's who you think you are. And so therefore, when you lie to yourself that there's something between you and the other person, which is a lie and an illusion, a big one, in reality there isn't. There's nothing that is coming from you to the other person. Nothing. Everything is moving around your head. Between the perception you have of yourself and the perception you have of the other person. So the love you feel, you don't feel it to the other person. The love you feel, that love is just revolving in your head. In your head. In your head. That love is coming from you to you, which is another version of the other person you have created in your mind. So there's no love coming from you to the other person. No. Hakuna. Not even a single drop. Not even a gram of it. All the love you feel is revolving around in your mind. Between the version of you have in mind and the version of them you have in mind. That's where the love is going. It's not coming out. Can't. Love cannot live where you are. Love can't live. Love is always here. Anger is always here. So when I do something, let's say for example it's Joyce. And then nimefanya kitu imekasirisha Joyce. For example, allow me to use it as an example. So I had a session before you guys came in. I had a client, and so I forgot to check on time. So I actually concluded the session at around 11:20 there. So that's when I'm checking my phone, like, oh, 11 is sharp. So now I'm waiting. Teresa comes in immediately, and then now I'm now, so nikaenda nikaambia Joyce na Phoebe walikuwa in our other room there. Okay, now we can start. And Joyce told me, we had already started complaining, man. Tumeanza kujiuliza kwani huyu na yeye si alisema 11. Kwa nini? You see? So Joyce and Phoebe were getting a little bit mad or angry because of a version of me they have in their mind. not the real me. Because the real me, if for example, I stayed for another 1 hour, I kept them waiting there for another 1 hour, and then to answer his session at 12, I would have gone to them and I would be like, oh, sorry guys for keeping you waiting. And they're like, yeah, you should be sorry, you should be apologizing, because how could you keep us waiting for a whole 1 hour? Do you think we have nothing else to do other than sit here and wait for you? You think your business is the most important thing? We don't have important things we can do with our life? You think we are, unatuona aje? Unatuona sisi kama ng'ombe? You think you're more important than us? No, I'm not thinking. That's you thinking. That's you thinking about that. I'm not doing the thinking. Sometimes when we think what people are thinking about us, we need to understand it is us who are thinking. You think, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm listening. I'm not even thinking. It's you who is doing the thinking. So stop putting it on me. So I would have gone there and they would have been very furious. And then I would have, Goja, guys, please relax. That lady was about to kill herself. Okay, I'm not saying that's the truth of the grant I had. I'm saying if I was to wait 1 hour. So nikuja niwaambie guys now. You see now, the reason why I delayed is because that client was very suicidal. And there's no way I would have let that client go. Because if I would have let them go, they would have gone to kill themselves. Is that what we would have wanted? If that's the case, okay, we are sorry. Sorry for complaining. Sorry. We are sorry for complaining. Thank you. You're doing a very good job. Did you conclude, or can you call her so that you can continue with the session? Is she suicidal now? I felt like we covered it, but because you guys were waiting, so I felt like, no, don't worry. We can wait all the day. Please call her, let her come back so that you can continue with the session. We wouldn't want her to die. And then I'll be like, look at these ones. So, so who are you mad at? Because now the real me, you are actually happy that I kept you waiting. After now I have explained the real me, what the real me was doing. So the person you are mad at is the version of me you have created in your head. That version is the one who you are mad at. You think, you are saying us. That's the version of me, not me. Because the moment I've presented myself now, and I've come and told you guys, now this is me. Now, first of all, drop that version of me you had in mind. Now listen to the real me. And then you are like, oh, okay, we are sorry for complaining. Please forgive us. We didn't know what we were doing. You are doing a very good job. Do you want to go back, or can we now start the session? And even if now after that I tell you to wait for another 1 hour, you guys will now be very smiling, very happy, waiting there. You are not in a hurry. You are not complaining. Why? Because now you have the little me in mind. All right? So the you have in your mind is still a perception. It is not the real you. Because the you have in your mind is the you that was handed to you by your society. Women should. Wives should. Mothers should. Employers should. Should. Should not. Now that's the version of you have. But the real you, there are a few things you need to do to interact with the real you, which we can talk about by the end of the session. But now, wacha tutoe hawa watu kwa nini hapa? Kwa whiteboard yangu wameishi hapa sana. Tumalizane na wao waende wakapendane na huko. So, this lady and this gentleman, this is Jane. Hapa hakuna Jane. And this is John. So, they even call themselves JJs. The J squared. Malavi-davi, because of love, They have even a nickname, the J's. So, Jane and John, they think they're in love with each other. They think there's something between them. They think, I have love for you and you have love. We have something between us. No. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing between the two of you. The only thing there is something between the version of you in your mind and the version of them in your mind. You don't love this guy. You don't love John. You love the John in your head. John doesn't love you. Wacha sana yeye tumtoe macho. Acha kushida hapa ndio anaona peke yake. John also doesn't love you, the real you. No. John loves a version of you he has created in his mind. So, the version of John in his mind is in love with the version of you in his mind. The version of you as Jane in your mind is in love with the version of them in your mind. So love never leaves here. It never leaves you. It is always here. So even when you say, I hate him, you don't hate this one. You hate this one in your mind. Even when you say he is good for nothing, wrong. He is good for everything. And it's going to surprise you when after 3 days or after 3 months, he is going to invite you for the wedding. You know, he is very evil. He broke my heart. He is a very useless man. He is very bad. He is not good to me. No. He is very abusive. He is very emotional numb. He doesn't listen. He doesn't take care of me. And then that's why we separated. He is evil. He is bad. Bad. I condemn you to her. That's you. And then 3 months later, unaona post kwa Facebook. Already in a gown. You know, standing next to him. Let me tell you guys, and she's very emotional. Let me tell you guys, this is the man that God made for me. He listens to me. He cares about me. He is always there for me. He is the most loving man I have ever met. He is so gentle. He is so tender. And I'm going to live the rest of my life for him. And I'm so proud and so happy that God brought him in my life. And then now, wewe mwenye uliacha on the other end, you are like, who nani ameroka? Who has bewitched this one? And actually it gets to surprise you that 50 years down the line, they are still holding hands in the streets. They are still together, still in love. Heaven ever after, happily ever after. 50 years. And then you start questioning yourself. Nilikuwa nimeangalia vibaya. Ama nilimwangalia asubuhi. Ilikuwa jioni anakuwa sawa. Ama nilijua alikuwa 30. After alizeeka alifikisha 35 alikuwa sawa. Now you start questioning your perception. Because the person you thought was evil becomes an angel to someone else. So love never leaves here to here. Whoever this person is, whether it's your mother, whether it's your daughter, whether it's your son, whoever it is, love, affection, relationship, emotions, they don't live here and go to your kids. They don't live here and go to your husband. They don't live here and go to your friends. They don't. You are in love with every version of every person you have created in your mind. You don't love these people. You love these people here in your head. If you have 100 people in your head, those are the ones you love. So even when they go, you forget that the version of them, you still have it. At least sasa tumeanza kurudi kwa loss and grief. There's hope. Now, even when this person, now, let's create two now. There's you, and there's them. Whoever them is, son, brother, husband, whatever. So when this person leaves, now this is you, this is them. Remember, from the very beginning, you are in a relationship with a version of them in your mind. So here is where the game starts. When this one is not in the picture, because of lack of awareness, because you thought you were in love with them, you forget that this one has gone, but this one still exists. This one did not go anywhere. The one you were in love with did not go anywhere. All that you are doing, you are in love with the version of them in your mind, but now because you needed to objectify that, because you needed a physical representation of this, it was this. So the physical representation is gone, but in reality, the one you are in love with is still in your head. That's why 5 years down the line, You tell us. My mom died. My brother died. My son died. If you bring 2 photos of a stranger and your son, will you be able to know which one is for your son? Will you be able to know which one is for your son? If you bring you, even after 20 years of death, tukuletee picha mbili, utajua si ya mwili yenye imekufa. No, before they died. So before that, hata kwa album, even after 20 years, unachukua zile photo album, unaflip, unaambia watu, now this is my son when he was 2, when he was 10. This was actually the day before he died. He had an accident. We just took a photo. You see? Meaning, you still remember them. They didn't go anywhere. The version of them that you still had is still in your mind. The only person that disappeared is the physical representation of the mental perception of the person you had in your mind. But the real person who you are in love with, who you had a relationship with, is still in your mind. But now, because of lack of awareness, we think he is gone, I should mourn. But the relationship still exists. So you ask someone to deduce, do you still have a relationship with your brother? And he died 20 years ago? Yeah, of course. He is still my brother. That's why I call my brother. My brother. Even in death, my. There's still attachment. There's still identity. We are still attached. Why my? Because the person, in reality, the version of them you had in mind, this one cannot die. This one you are going to keep it until now, the day you lose your memory. The day you lose your memory, that's the day you lose them. But for as long as your memory is intact, you cannot lose anyone, you cannot lose anything. That's why people say sometimes that when they look at the old photos of the person who have died, they get a kind of a relief. When they look at the clothes, when they look at a certain item that that person left, that's why in every home you go and find a portrait of all the people who have died in that family hanged in the wall. Why? Because these people still believe we still need a physical representation of the person so that we can feel connected. Can feel connected. You don't want to forget about him. But you never met the little guy. The person who died, you never met them. You never knew them. You never interacted with them. You always interacted with a version of them in your mind. So you are crying about a person you never knew. You are crying about a person you never met in reality to who they are. You are crying about a person who you never interacted with in reality. You always interacted with a version of them in your mind, but not them in reality. And the version of them in mind never goes anywhere, always here. So when we are talking about loss and grief, we are saying that we need to understand exactly what we are mourning. Stories are job. Is the physical, mind is the non-physical. Because when we talk about mind, we are talking about memory. Tukikata hiyo kichwa yako mara mbili, tutaona memory. We can't. Mind have memories, past experiences, our thoughts. Tukifungua hapo hatuweziona hata thought moja. If you open there, we cannot even see a single emotion. We can't see anger. We can't see happiness. We can't see disappointments and frustrations and all those things. Because those things are not physical. So if your thoughts and your memories are not physical, and even your emotions, what are they? They exist as what? If you have any idea or thought.
I really don't have, I would just say their feelings.
Their feelings? Okay. Okay, Phoebe.
I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. They exist as energy. Electrical impulses. Alright? When you feel anger, what happens? When you feel angry, you feel like you have a lot of energy now. You want to punch someone, which you didn't have before. Alright? So when you feel angry and you feel rage, you feel like you want to... Right now, unaweza chukua mtoto umrusha hivyo alafu uanze kumtafuta. Na mtoto alikuwa hapa ameenda wapi? Ndio huyu. And then sasa nao ndio wakati anateremka nao. because it was energy. Anger is a form of energy. Talk about a present emotion, happiness. Happiness also is a form of energy. So when you feel happiness, you can dance. You feel like now, you can even now do all the styles and everything that, you feel like you want to dance. You feel you have a lot of positive energy. You want to say hi to people. Even people who don't know. You want to talk. You want to do everything like you are very, also it's a form of energy. When you have thoughts and you have negative thoughts, let's start there. When you have negative thoughts, what do? When you have negative thoughts for 5 minutes, you sit down and you think and you think and you think and you think. When you waking up from that position, when you're standing up, when you're ending the cycle of thinking, what do you feel? Most of the times tired.
The way you down.
Yeah, the way you down, you feel tired, you feel like you don't have energy. Why? Because those negative thoughts took away your energy. Because by themselves, they were energy. What happens when you have positive thoughts? You're like, everything is going to be amazing. I'm living my best life. God is on my side. The devil is on the other side. He is dying slowly by slowly. And my life is amazing. Then when you have positive thoughts, you feel energized. You feel happy. So all this, even when it comes to memories, right now, when you're talking about memory, remember something that's good. Something nice that has ever happened in your life. And you started like this. Now you are starting to remember. Now you are in your natural state, whichever natural state it is for you. You are like this. And then you start remembering something nice. And you start going right. Whatever it is now, because it is nice. Now you go to that direction of smiling. Yes, you smile. And then I ask you to think about something sad. And you start here. And then you'll be like, when you start thinking about something sad. And then you continue like that. So why? Because even memories are energy. You think about some energizing memory, nice memories, you feel energized. You remember bad things. So all this exists as energy. And then, to my thinking, I think if the highest level of knowledge and wisdom we can have in this life, the highest, is learning how to manipulate energy. Like, that's the highest. Leave alone the knowledge of God. The highest knowledge, the most precious knowledge and wisdom you can have in this life is how to manipulate energy. Because there's a guy who said, I think he's called Nikola Tesla. He said that if you think in form of energy, vibrations and frequencies, you'll have the secrets of the universe at the palm of your hands. Again, another guy, a physician, said that energy cannot be created, neither can it be destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. And that's what I'm saying, that if you can learn how to change energy from one form to another, then you have mastered. If you can learn how to change anger to happiness, anger to excitement, then you'll never be angry. Every time you feel anger, happiness. Like every form of energy you feel, you can decide to transform it to whatever you want. Poverty is an energy. Poverty has nothing to do with money. Okay? Because you having no money is a product of your thoughts. What do you think about money? Well, that's a topic for another day. But that's the fact. That's the reality. Those people who are poor is because they think poor thoughts. You take someone who is rich and you ask them, what do you think about every day? You call a poor person, what do you think about every day? Those two people don't think about the same things. The day the poor person starts thinking about what the rich person thinks about, sooner or later, they become rich. Because a poor person akiamuka tu asubuhi, oh economy, oh kasongo, oh pesa ipatikani, oh pesa, money is hard to get, oh you have to work hard, you have to struggle. Jamaa mwenye akona pesa akiamka asubuhi anauliza, hii gari ni pesa gapi? Ni 1 million. Niweke pale. Huyu hata gari ya 1 million hapagain. Yule anapagain sukuma ya 5 bob. Anauliza, kuna venye unaweza niuzia 3 bunches 3 na 10 bob. Anaambiwa bunch moja ni 5. Kuna venye unaweza niulizia anabagain sasa auziwe. So that's the mindset. So these things exist as energy. Please don't forget, we are still talking about loss and grief. Okay? Yes. So these things exist as energy. All right? So then that tells you that when we talk about the grief is a form of energy. All right? So then people who are stuck in grief after loss, these are people who don't know how to change this grief energy into a positive energy, because grief by itself is a negative. Let's give it a label. I don't like giving labels, but let's give it a label. Grief by itself, that's why it is depressing and stressing and draining and all that. It is because it is a negative form of energy. Then the people who are stuck in grief are people who don't know how to convert the grief energy into a different form of energy. Have you seen people who have lost their loved ones, and out of losing their loved ones, they became millionaires? Okay, that's a little bit challenging to find. Have you seen people who have lost their marriages, and that grief of losing a marriage makes them millionaires? Have you seen them? One day, a certain family broke. So when they separated, I'm grieving now that my marriage is over, but immediately she is able to convert that grief energy into abundance energy. Now she is a millionaire. Something she was not before the breaking of the marriage. So people then who are stuck in grief are people who do not know how to convert this grief energy into the kind of an energy they want. You can convert it into happiness, you can convert it into joy, you can convert it into gratitude, you can convert it into abundance, you can convert it into whatever you want. Now, the moment you learn how to do that, then you have the secrets of the world and the power is in your hands. I want to tell you that in reality, there's nothing like Ross. People talk about Ross. There's nothing like Ross. There's nothing like that. Just a word people like using. Don't know for why. But there's nothing like Ross. If we dissect a human being, we get the body, we get the spirit, we get the soul, and we get the mind. Okay? And we have dissected the mind, we have seen the content of the mind, and we have decided it's an energy. So everything in the mind exists as an energy. Okay? All right. So you've heard people say, this is the common phrase that you've heard people say, that's a very nice soul, a good soul. So we have good souls and bad souls. Sidio? The difference between a ghost, whether they exist or not, that's on you. Or a Satan or a devil or whatever. So the difference between the soul of an angel and the soul of a devil is what? Is the energy they carry in themselves. Sidio? An angel carries positive energy, a devil carries negative energy. So even when we are talking about the level of soul, this is energy. When we are talking about spirit, is that an energy or not? Is spirit an energy or not? Let's go into for now I want us to just use the basic understandings. Let's go into the Bible. God. God existed or even exists as a spirit. Sidio? So God existing as a spirit, God created animals and plants and human beings. All right? So what do you think he was using to create? He was using the creative energy, the creating energy. So if God is a spirit and in him there is energy which is coming out, then that means that also God is an energy. God is an energy. And we say that God is an energy vibrating at a very high frequency. So God is a frequency you tune into. That's why you have heard people say that God frequency. You've heard that, God frequency. So God is a frequency, it's an energy by itself. It's a frequency energy vibrating at a certain frequency. And so when you tune into that, you are one with the God. Now, What is body? How did you get that body? Naomi, where did you get that body? Okay, you were born. Ulizaliwa ukiwa mkubwa hivi.
Oh, through all the years.
You have accumulated this body. Through what?
Eating.
Through food. All right, good. So let's start there. So we can all agree that this is food. We can all agree that this, what you see here, is food. This is a product of food. This is food by itself. Because if I had not been eating for the last 10 years, I would not be here. Nikekosa kukula miezi 3, 4, 5, mwili collapse izikwe, sahi mkaenda kutoa maybe mkapata bones 1, 2, 3. So then that means that our body is nothing but food. The number of kgs you have, your weight. Your weight tells us how much food you've been eating. That's all it tells us. Today you are 80 kgs. You come back after 1 month, you are 90. What will people tell you? Ni kama siku hizi umekuwa ukikula sana. Yes, you've been eating too much. You need to reduce the portions. What they are telling you is that you have added 10 kg of food in your body. All right? If our body is nothing but food, okay? If now we can all understand that, the reality that our body is nothing but food. So when I tell you that you don't look good, that means I'm talking about food. So when people say that I'm in body shame, no, yes, it's okay, I do understand in body shame, but me, I'm talking about food. That's food, you know. I'm saying that your food is shapeless. That food of yours is very shapeless. So what is being insulted is food, and then we are so sad that food is being insulted. It's our food. This is my food. This is my body. This is my food. So those people who really who complain about being body shamed, those are people who don't understand what their bodies are, because they think they are their body. That's why they will tell you that. What do you mean? You're telling me? No, I'm not telling you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your body. No, but that's me. No, it's not you. Just the body, just a thing, just food you are carrying around in the streets. Just food. So most people think that they are food. That's why if you tell someone you don't look nice, they'll take it against you. And they say, you have insulted me. Now they take it personal. You have insulted me. It's not you, it's this food you carry around here. Shapeless one. You know, so when people tell you that your food is shapeless, don't feel bad. Just food, nothing else, just food. You know. So now again, so that we don't go deeper into that. When we say that our bodies are food, so when you eat food, what are you interested in? In the food. The minerals, the nutrients, and the what? Such. Whichever form they are, vitamins, carbohydrates, whatever. So that's what you want. They are in form of, in the food. They're in form of what? When you are hungry, can you be able to do something when you're hungry? Why? You don't have the energy. When you eat, what do you get? You get the energy. So what we get from food is? What we get from food is energy. So in reality, these bodies we carry around or we carry around are just energy. It's just energy in one space. This is just energy. Okay? This is energy. The whole thing is energy. Mind is energy. Every content in the mind is energy. The emotions, the feelings, the thought, the memories, pure energy. The soul, energy. What is soul, by the way? When we talk about the spirit and the soul, what's the difference? Most people don't know. Let's see quickly, because you are all Christians, or that's your foundation. Let me take you back there just a little bit. God created a human being, okay? And then he molded a body, and then he gave the breath of life. That's what he did. He said to the guys he was with, maybe it was his buddies, like a group, hey guys, let's create a guy who looks just like us. By so saying, let us create, the person came into existence. You see, you create through your thoughts. You do understand that. That's why I told you that Poverty and richness or whatever, it's a product of thought. You create with your thoughts. So the moment you say, let me create that thing, you have already created it. And now after creating it in your mind, you give it a physical representation of what is in your mind. And that's why I always tell people, you have never seen the original of anything in this life. You see the first spoon that was made, the very first one, it was not the original. Yule mtu mwenye alishika kijiko ya kwanza hivi akasema, I have in my hands the very first original copy of a spoon. Lie. The very first car that was created in this world, the very first one, it was not the original. The very first airplane that was created in Ikatebea, it was not the original. It was not the first one. The original is always here. Only the creator of the thing knows the true copy of the thing they created. Only the creator can have the original of the material thing. Because the original is always here, and now this original, we give it a physical representation. It's a photocopy. I'm photocopying my thoughts. So what you see outside, the person who created this pen, this is a photocopy. Even if it is the very first pen that was created, this is not an original. It is, however, the original physical representation of the original idea in the mind. So the original is always in the mind. So then, when God created, when God said with his buddies, wakasema, hey guys, let's create. By the very moment, a human being was created.